In the beginning, creation, Adam and Eve, in the fall. Genesis 1-3, the origin of humanity and sin. In the beginning, there was nothing. No earth, no sky, no time, no breath, only a vast, immeasurable void, silent and still. Darkness covered everything like a heavy cloak, and in that eternal silence only one existed: God. He was not born, for he had always been. He was not formed, for he was the one who would form all things. Perfect in wisdom, power, and love, he hovered over the darkness with purpose. And then he spoke. With one command, "Let there be light." The silence shattered. A great burst of light cut through the blackness like a sword through shadow. It was not like the light of a fire or of the sun, for those had not yet been made. It was a pure, radiant glow, life-giving and sacred. God saw the light and called it good. He separated the light from the darkness. To the light he gave the name day, and to the darkness night. And that was the first day, the first evening, the first morning. Time had begun. On the next day, he shaped the skies. He separated the waters above from the waters below, forming a great expanse between them. He called this vast sky heaven. It stretched wide, clear, and boundless, with the promise of more to come. Then God turned his eyes downward. With a word, he gathered the waters below the heavens, pulling them into rivers, seas, and oceans. From their retreat, dry land emerged, rocky cliffs, soft meadows, and hills that rolled like waves frozen in motion. He called the dry ground earth and the gathered waters seas, and he saw that it was good. But the earth was bare, and so God breathed life into the soil. From that word, the ground burst open with green. Grass swept across the fields. Trees rooted deep and grew tall, their branches laden with fruit, seeds, and flowers of every color and scent. Then came light in a new form, not just the first light, but lights to govern time. God set the blazing sun in the sky to rule the day, and the silver moon to rule the night. He scattered stars like sparks across the heavens, each one hung with purpose and beauty. They would mark days and nights, seasons and years, guiding all things by their light. The sky became a canvas of wonder. Next, the waters were called to teem with life. The seas rolled and frothed as creatures of every shape surged from their depths. Whales sang their songs in the deep. Dolphins leapt in joy, and fish flickered like jewels beneath the waves. In the sky, birds burst forth, wings stretched wide, feathers gleaming, voices filling the air with songs that no ear had ever heard before. The sky and sea danced with movement and melody, a chorus of creation echoing God's joy. And then, on the sixth day, the earth itself stirred with new life. From its dust and clay came creatures that walked, crawled, and bounded over the land. Elephants trumpeted across vast plains. Foxes padded through underbrush. Lions roared from mountaintops, and insects buzzed through the flowers. Cattle wandered meadows, bears lumbered through forests, and butterflies kissed petals with grace. Every creature had a place, a purpose, and a name known to God. Yet among all this beauty, something was missing. All the world was alive, but there was none who could speak with God as a friend, none who bore his image. And so God stooped once more to the earth. From the dust he formed a man, shaping his frame with great care. Then he leaned in and breathed into the man's nostrils the breath of life, and the man lived. He opened his eyes and drew in his first breath. Around him stretched the world, bright, full, alive. But more than that, he felt something sacred. He was not alone. He was known, formed, and loved by the very one who breathed him into being. This man God named Adam, and he placed him in a paradise prepared just for him, a garden called Eden. Eden was not merely a home. It was a world within the world, a place of peace where heaven touched earth. Rivers ran through it, feeding the land with silver streams. Trees offered every kind of fruit, their branches heavy and generous. Flowers bloomed eternally. The soil was soft, the air fragrant, and the animals wandered in harmony. In the center of this garden grew two special trees, the tree of life, whose fruit sustained eternal life, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which God warned must never be eaten from. God gave Adam a task to care for the garden, to name the animals, and to live in joyful obedience. Every evening, God would walk with Adam through the cool of the day, and they would speak as companions. Yet God saw that Adam was alone, and though creation was good, this was not. None of the animals were like him. None could walk beside him, share his heart, reflect the image of God in the way he did. So God caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep, and while he slept, God took one of his ribs and formed a woman. She was not made from dust, but from the very side of the man, equal, loved, and made to stand beside him. When Adam awoke and saw her, his soul leapt. "This is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh," he said. She was named Eve, the mother of all living, and together they lived in harmony, naked yet unashamed, full of joy, innocence, and peace. Time passed in wonder, in laughter, in love. They walked with God, tended the garden, and delighted in one another. Everything was good. There was no death, no suffering, no fear, only life in its purest form. But then, from the shadows came a whisper. A serpent, more cunning than any beast, approached Eve. It questioned the one thing God had forbidden. "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" it asked, feigning innocence. Eve replied, "We may eat from every tree except the one in the center, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God said if we eat from it or even touch it, we will die." The serpent's eyes gleamed. "You will not die," it hissed. "God knows that if you eat it, your eyes will be opened. You will be like him, knowing good and evil." Eve turned to the tree. The fruit glistened, beautiful and inviting. It looked harmless. It looked wise. A hunger stirred within her, a longing not just to taste, but to become. She reached out, took the fruit, and bit. Then she gave some to Adam, and he too ate. At once their eyes were opened. But what they saw was not wisdom. It was a shame. They looked at each other and saw their nakedness, and for the first time they felt fear. They sewed fig leaves together, trembling, hiding from each other, and from God. When they heard the sound of God walking through the garden, they ran into the trees. But he called out, "Adam, where are you?" Adam stepped forward ashamed. "I heard you and was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God's voice was heavy with sorrow. "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam hesitated. "The woman you gave me, she gave me the fruit and I ate." Eve added, "The serpent deceived me." God turned to them, not in fury, but with broken-hearted justice. The serpent was cursed to crawl on its belly forever, hated among all creatures. God told Eve that her joy in childbirth would now come through pain. And to Adam, he said the ground would no longer yield easily. From that moment, sweat and labor would be his companions. Thorns and sorrow would mark his days. One day he would return to the dust from which he came. God, even in his grief, did not abandon them. He made garments of skin for them, covering them with dignity and grace. Then he sent them out of Eden. At its gate, he placed angels with flaming swords to guard the way to the tree of life, so they would not live forever in their fallen state. And though the garden was now behind them, God was not. He walked with them still, distant, yes, but watching, caring. He had not cast them aside. For even then, in that moment of exile, God had a plan. One day, a child born of a woman would come to crush the serpent's head. One day, the broken world would be restored. And so, the story of humanity began. Not in perfection, but in promise. Not in peace, but in pursuit of peace. A story of wandering and return, of sorrow and redemption. A story that continues even now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.